resilience. It is not a chore for the self-led, mystic, spiritual, mindful, living, loving person. In fact, it actually makes me think of a quote, the one from Nelson Mandela. Let's see. Hold on a minute, as I don't remember things by heart. That's one of my weaknesses. But I do know nervous system when I meet one. So it always seems impossible until it's done. Thank you, Nelson. Now, the children of God, those of you who are mystics and spiritual, we don't let God down. We actually don't need to save people, though. So those are savior complex. Martyrs, blamers, superiors. When you see the ones who feel helpless and hopeless, that's our 3D, 4D brothers and sisters. I make fun of them because, well, they make fun of us. Now, the other part is it's not a good group or a bad group, just FYI, you actively get to choose. If you want to be the masked version of you, which is where my facade friend is, I'm still working with the judgmental asshole over here. And that is for a number of reasons. As a mystic, a channeler, a downloader, I'm not going to prove any of this. I never thought people would actually think spirituality would want to prove anything. Scientists are the ones who continue to look behind every corner so that they can have, they can sleep at night. Why they're not masters of their 8th and 9th chakra. So healthy perfectionists, the thing about a perfectionist and someone who's intellectually intelligent, embodied intelligence, yes, and emotional resilience again. Did I mention it's not a chore? It's why the inner growth mindset practices and the journal prompts, they're only for those who enjoy being themselves. We're all little angels. The good ones, they're all good. The bad ones, they're not bad. They had bad, I can shame, blame, fault, revenge every home out there, or I can let you know how attachment trauma educators are letting everyone know healing's possible. But you know why we still need scientists? Yeah. So dumb people, I'm sorry, I have to. Sorry, God. That's how Maria feels about idiocy, ignorance, and anyone who thinks it's not possible to be emotionally resilient. But I don't live in their body, you see, which is a good thing because I wouldn't want to be in that body. Also, I need to remember, thank you again, humility. So every child has a beginning in a womb, which is why I pointed at the very primary caregivers, because that's where it begins, in the womb and then in the home. And so it's very easy to see why there's a shame continuum, because it's bad manners to point to someone's family and say, well, I know it's about the apple, but not the apple in the tree for personality patterns or temperament. Nope, it's you're not securely attached because you didn't get supported the right way to be able to shine like an eagle, yes, and fly like a person. This is an attitude from a 3-year-old who said, you can't spank me, it's in my body, which is why I have a bossy plaque. It's also why my exact trauma time still comes up with the same human being, thanks mom, who let me be all my angry feels and who's not a monster. And when it comes to God, we don't let him down because we know all of his children can achieve this. This is why it's impossible to have emotional resilience. No, it's possible. What's impossible to observe are the many groupies who think that by using words they can fool any of those of us who are empowered feminines. Like, okay, we know when we got a weak one in front of us. We ain't gonna do shit because it's up to them if they want to get out of the destructive mindset. Oh, I'm so sorry. Wait a minute. My facade friend, as he pointed out in front of 3 guys, because he didn't have the guts to tell it to me in my face when we were talking about me being a mystic, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in anything, Maria. No, he didn't say it like that. No, this is what happens when you're an authentic person and you're like, what the fuck? You never knew how to express your actual opinion and just stand down and say, oh, we have different opinions and you wasted my time and I wasted your time. That's how it feels when somebody is a judgmental right now asshole, because it's, how the fuck did you talk to me all these years without saying the truth in my face? And in his brain, it was, so when people are masked, they don't know who they are. It's very boring to actually have to engage with, by the way. That's why I don't actually... Thank you, Jesus. Yes, I do know how to forgive. I don't think, I forgave, because they're one coward after another coward didn't believe in themselves. I don't do anything with someone who can't believe in themselves. I'm an empowered feminine with my own empowered masculine. That's how it works. We don't get tested by shit. And when you see the Twin Flame Saga, please, I'll let you know. Groupies, they're amazing. No, they're not. They're actually like the same teenagers who had no character, no personality, because they were all insecure. I realized that. Emotional immaturity comes because you're immature when you're that age. I chose to be mature. No, I chose to be Maria, authentic, which is why I'm a facade friend. Oh, that's just be yourself. The only man ever yelled that in the face. And I saw this. So when you see a blank stare, it's because somebody doesn't know how to be self-led. Like when I was telling someone there's no energy vampires or dark auras, and they're like, it's like, you said you're at a therapist, right? Great. Keep going. Once you're done, and that's because once you're done, you got an integrated brain, you can have a happy inner world with a mindset that works great. Anchored in ventral energy. Again, it's not a chore to do resilience work. It's actually the mwah. So how has being steady in the face of uncertainty, which is 1 douchebag, 2 douchebags, 3 douchebags, because some of us are lucky like that. If somebody is in a physical war, that's a whole different story. But other than that, I'm pretty sure that in the circumstances that anyone who is whining about people right now, the backstabbers, the liars, they always do the same shit. This is why I am very irritated, because I had a very interesting interaction a couple of weeks ago. I don't remember when it was. No, it wasn't an interesting interaction. It was another one of those people who like to judge humanity. Then they like to think that they're spiritual. And it's like, nope, you're a spiritual bypasser and a somatic bypasser. It's possible to be emotionally resilient again and again and again because you choose to be curious once you've met enough assholes who are morons and stopped being a judgmental asshole. So wholeness, you don't get broken when you meet cowards. I met the first coward. I couldn't say it's because of your family that you are being this way, because it wasn't just because of the family. Actively, the choice to put their own self to the side and just stay as a coward does without doing anything of significant. I mean, I can't point it out. My mother taught me manners, and the therapist taught me what happens to people who don't know how to keep securely attached. So I'm just letting you know, IHP is for people who are badass. The ones who are groupies, they're not really badass. They're only badass like my facade friend when they're around other groupies. And then they can tell you what they really think. And you think, wow, I'm still 4'9". You're my friend. I've known you for my entire life. You didn't know how to tell me to my face that you don't believe in shit. So I waited till we got into the car because that's good manners. My mother taught me how to treat people with good manners. And I taught my friend that I'm always going to tell him what I think in his face. And he taught me what insecure people do, which is why twin flames, they don't really make a dent in somebody who is thinking they're supposed to be a mirror. There's no mirror. If you can't get up in the morning and you can't know how to use your nervous system, you're not a mirror of a person who knows emotional resilience. Since, really, being a differentiated self from the age of 3, that's pretty fun. There's stories and perspectives, and you can't prove anyone anything, but I know my body, and I do love having self-awareness. What I also love is learning from smart-ass human beings who are all educators, yes. And when I see pseudo-intellectuals, I make fun of them. When I see spiritual bypassers, God tells me not to make fun of them. So does Buddha, because, and Jesus, he looks and says, remember, you're supposed to be forgiving, Maria. And I forgive. I just think they could do, their A game. They're not dangerous, Dan Martell. Mediocre people, B gamers. They're just irritating and annoying. And they don't think it's possible to be able to be emotionally resilient. What does it even mean to be resilient? It means that you get to 1 douchebag, 2 douchebags, 3 douchebags, and you say, how has uncertainty given you the capacity to be able to maintain authenticity and transparency and be the same asshole? I'm an asshole like anybody else, but I'm not an asshole because I'm trying to be mean. I'm just like, what the fuck? Why are you all wasting your time in destructive mindsets, escapism, not healthy perfectionism, and the cynic? What is right now? It feels right. Dude, you're all feels. I want it to be a world where it's all about what is right. I can see why divinity is not embodied in anyone, because if it were, we'd be singing Kumbaya right now. But I know of God. And see, although determined, Robert Sapolsky, I'm pretty sure he's spot on with that. A lot of people are just going to fall into their usual habits because that's what people like to do. They don't like to bring in their A game when they're not. I'm a healthy perfectionist. Do you know what you're capable of? Awesome. I know what I'm capable of. I don't like to get B's. I'm not kidding. I got C's and I cried. And I got low C's and I cried even more. And so I'm just letting you know, I know what motivates me in the morning. I know my A game. And anybody who doesn't want their A game, I can't make you want your A game. In fact, there's plenty of people they're trying to pressure us to get over emotions. It's called, you have one of 2 options. You grow your window welcome to moments of complete upset. And that's why you eventually become that which is called, where's the book? A sage. Enlightened ones. We laugh at shit because that's how it works. And when you see teenagers saying, if people went through what I went through, they would have physically died. No, that's you thinking you can do a better job than another brother or sister of yours, which you don't know, and that actually seems like a cocky. So I'm not better than anyone, but I do know you can do it too. If you want, the emotional resilience, that's once you get over the, pity party of the ego and it comparing itself to a bunch of other shit that goes on. And really, why would you compare yourself to weak ones? They're missing out. We talked about it last night. Yeah, the sad part is this. When I meet my masked friends, I just think I have a good time. They're clowns. Oh my God, you should see them all together. Where are they? Here's Pinocchio. Yes, they're not men or fathers. Masculine is half a brain, and then they wear their mask, like my facade friend, who don't know how to speak their truth in front of everyone all the time. which is why I can't say anything, but I also have a bad memory. Remember, that's why I went to grab the phone, because I don't remember shit, but there's a reason for that, because God always makes sure that you can get to your A game. Had I been able to regurgitate shit from my mouth, I would have wasted way too much time with these clowns. So instead, he made me oblivious to being able to do that. That's my excuse, or that's my way of giving you how I know how to make sense. Left brains always want to make sense. I love information. And we also know, the integrated brain, that we're not going to make sense to those who don't follow. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P. They're all touch because, hey, there's not one answer to enlightenment and you being yourself. So with that, identity triggered people, not going to be here. People who want labels, diagnoses, blame, shame, fault, revenge frameworks, not going to be here, because we don't blame the parents or the home. We all know our ancestors and kings and queens are 14 years of age. Seriously, no wonder the system is still not perfect, and it will be at some point, because humans evolve and intelligence embodied wins, because that's exactly why we know who the backstabbing liars are, which is also why we know who they are, because of the cowardice they have. So they may look fancy, as Schopenhauer points out. If you want to appeal to the masses, no, you want to appeal to a large audience, you appeal to the masses, yes, there's 3D, 4D masses out there, and then there's 5D masses. Embodied intelligence, yes, and emotional resilience. It's not a chore, it's something that we call, we got an A game, God's perfection. He created us with free will. I made the free will choice to not close my heart when I met 1 douchebag, 2 douchebags, 3 douchebags, 4 douchebags. By the time I'm 20, I met all the cowards I could have met. I'm like, hey, no Lucifer. It's a bunch of cowards. What'd I do? Nothing. I know what to do. And I'm working on my judgmental asshole as we speak, because I still find them the same cowards. So my facade friend, he is living his mediocre life. He's happy. Does that make me a prick for judging his life? No, he's doing half of what he could do. He's not embodying his full self because he doesn't know how to expand his window welcome, because he doesn't want to. I want to do it. I want to know. That's a person who honored therapy and then did this. And it's like, wow, so you don't want personal growth, spiritual growth. You don't want growth. Just say, I don't want to do feelings because it's too hard. It's okay. You don't have to do feelings. Some of us are okay with doing feelings and knowing that we smile when we're crying, because emotions last 90 seconds. And master out there who thinks enlightenment is impossible because you have laundry whenever you cry, which means you're talking over yourself, which means you have a pity party going on. That's how it works. So self-aware, accountable, regulating people don't use a narrative to give excuses for why everything. No, there's 2 groups, mediocre ones, and we get to be tested with put a hand on your heart and remind yourself free will. God, creatorship. You don't choose for a soul what to do with themselves. They're all the same pieces if they don't want access. And that's just the face of a person. It's like, yeah, they don't want access to themselves. You see? You can't pity them. You can't pity a fool. You also can't feel sorry for them, because that's exactly when they're like, don't feel sorry for me. I wasn't feeling sorry for you. I was trying to tell you how you could handle something. That's how triggered people at work when they are very upset that things aren't going their way and they feel helpless and hopeless. And well, I don't feel helpless or hopeless. I'm determined, and then I also am beyond determined. I'm also grounded in reality. Things can go many different ways in life. So how has being able to face uncertainty and unknown, unexpected, and whammy from twin flames, soulmates, all that shit. Yes, facade friends, cowards, a number of them. They're just teenage versions of themselves with core wounds, unhealed, adoptive child part. People are losers. They're never going to be winners because they don't know how to get it up without being, because they can't navigate their nervous system. It's a sad story. I'm just telling you. My facade friend, he's doing great, but he's stagnating, as are so many other people, because of distress and not eustress. And with that being said, how has your capacity to anchor in ventral energy done you wonders? And then, besides you being yourself and not a liar and a fake one, and still taming our judgmental assholes, I'm working on it. No delusional idiot, because we know information. So again, please remember, I may sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, but I do. Attachment trauma educated. I just learned every single bit of why a cat and a bird with broken wing are going to keep hanging out. And empowered feminines don't get tested by masculines because they irritate the fuck out of us. God keeps us away from them because he knows otherwise we break them completely in ways that is unnecessary and that I would have feel ashamed of personally. I'm talking about subjective opinion. So I know now how to handle cowards like I did when I was a kid. And that's thanks to my facade friend. I don't yell at people in their face. I'll ask you to just be yourself. I know that either I'm going to meet the true person or the fake one, and that's their choice. Free will. They can stay determined or bring their A game on. How has your ability to navigate uncertainty with steadiness, thanks to your emotional resilience, allowed you to stay true to yourself and, in addition, help others? See, you get to be the anchor for the ones who don't have not only the capacity for their own self to get their A game on. And they get a sense of one moment, that's all. That doesn't do much, believe me. Then they fall into their dark sides and neuroplasticity patterns again and again and again. That's not your choice. You can't do shit about it. But how has it helped you to be an anchor for all of those who are going to stay emotionally immature, and then for those who will bring their A game on thanks to being able to see, again, all it takes is one human to be able to do it. And I'm not the only human who does restore embodiment. The difference is I can spot the fake ones who are using the words because it's self-led, not about your confidence. Nope, you have nervous system sovereignty. And you know when you are charged, which is why I'm still working with my judgmental asshole. With that being said, thank you for stopping by. Let anybody who is emotionally intelligent and emotionally resilient come back here and pay it. That's where you're going to find the journal prompts, the bundles, more is to come. And thanks again for stopping by. Have a good one.